Welcome again. This is Jim here on Educator.com, and today we are going to talk about the single most effective, probably one of the more important advertising and marketing mediums on the internet, and that is in the form of an e-newsletter. And in this lesson overview, we will talk about the purpose of e-newsletter, the protocol. In fact, we're going to be sending out an actual e-newsletter in this lesson. We're going to talk about how to create one and the different online tools and websites that help you create successful online e-letters and newsletters and surveys, things of that nature. Some of them you may already know, like Constant Contact, iContact. We're going to go over all those today. And before I do, let me show you a great example of e-newsletter that I receive almost on a daily basis. I mean, people are so used to them right now. This is my personal Hotmail account. As you can see on the right side, you've got a campaign, President Obama, and there's the First Lady, Michelle. Of course, I'm not endorsing anything. It just appeared on my email account. So I'm going to click on this first link right here, and there you see is an example of an e-newsletter. Okay, and let's study this a little bit. Okay, it's got a nice little ad banner on the top, and I'm going to increase the size so you can clearly see what they're doing here. This is a newsletter from a website called BeliefNet. And websites like this, they collect your name and your email, most importantly your email, and they send out these newsletters to get you to go back into their website to share articles or promote a product or whatever their intentions are. But an e-newsletter serves as a reminder that they exist, that you signed up, and that you are interested in what they have to offer. And so as you can see with this particular website, they more or less promote their articles. On the bottom, as you can see, there is an unsubscribe link. So by law, you have to allow your people or the people on your list to unsubscribe. In addition, you must communicate your mailing address. And also, you don't have to allow them to change their email address, but you need to communicate who you are, where you are. So you just can't randomly send out newsletters. You got to identify yourself. You may want to express how you were able to get the person's email to begin with. Okay, these are one of the things that you have to be very aware of. At any rate, this is an example of an e-newsletter. It's got several links. Now, here's the most important thing to remember, and I'm going to write this down because I think it's really important to note that an e-newsletter, an e-newsletter is really a web page. Okay, that's all it really is. It's a single web page. So you don't necessarily need Outlook or Gmail to create an e-newsletter, although I know you can, but we're not going to go over that in this lesson. But if we go back to the browser and I go back to, let me go ahead and shrink this a little bit. Okay, on the left-hand side, I'll click my inbox, and I'm sure I'll probably have new things in there. Notice that I have something here, another one, Democrats.com. Now, I'm an independent, so don't get any ideas. But you notice that this is another newsletter where they show a lot of verbiage, some images. We go back, and again, we have another, this is just a simple email, but it is sent out to a lot of people. Then there is Morningstar. For those of you stock investors out there, this is their newsletter. Again, lots of information. Looks like the stock market is up today, about 100 points. Pretty good. But this is sort of like what it is. It's a single website. And again, you've got information here. You can notice that on the bottom over here, and I know it's kind of hard to see, so I'll increase the font a little bit. Just enough for you to see. Notice that you can subscribe to it. It also, this information over here identifies who they are and how they were able to find you and send you this newsletter. So I'm sure most of you probably received one or two. I mean, it's going all over the internet. It's very, very common to get things. A lot of them go into my junk folder. Okay, it is what it is. So even MLB.com, Major League Baseball. Okay, as you can see right now, okay, this all goes to my junk folder. A lot of they do go to your junk folder. So you want to make sure that you get a permission from the person that you want to send the email to, or a group of people that you want to send. And in this lesson, I will go ahead and discuss exactly how that's accomplished. All right, so moving forward, we will show you right now an actual newsletter that we're going to be sending out today. Now, this is Dr. Bob working for the Rancho Cucamonga Optometric Center, which is located in Rancho Cucamonga, California. He's one of the very best eye doctors in the region, and he likes to send out newsletters to his people. Of course, you can see it's pretty much, no frills about it. It's basically all his writings. This man loves to blog, loves to communicate to his customers. And so we'll be sending out this newsletter today in this lesson, and I will go step by step on how to accomplish just that. So let's go ahead and minimize this and return to the slides. Okay, so as I mentioned before, an e-newsletter is just a web page. Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. Let's go ahead and press this. Next slide. Okay, so why would you want to send out an e-newsletter? Well, as I mentioned before, it allows for a direct contact between you and your customers or prospects. Okay, it's direct. It's straight to the point. It's right there. There is no searching on the search engine. There is no looking for you on the social networks. You've already made the contact with this person, okay, and you've entered his name and email into your database, or better yet, they've entered their name and email in your database, and you went ahead and send them newsletters. Do not, I repeat, do not buy an email list. I find this extremely invasive, okay, and it's really ineffective, okay. I don't understand why people would do that. I know there are a lot of companies out there that sell these 20,000, 30,000 lists, and I've never seen anybody really become too successful with that, but to each his own. Just make sure that you have the permission to use those emails, because buying a list is not a permission. You need to have permission from the person to send out an email, and it's just a really risky thing to do, but to each his own. But regardless, it is sending out a newsletter. It is very, very inexpensive. I know some programs is only 1 cent an email to send out. So if you have a list of 1,000 emails, that equates to what? $10? I'm not very good at math. $1? I don't know. But it's very, very low. Okay, and so you may want to consider that matter. It also strengthens the relationship between you and your customers. Why? Because you keep talking to them. Okay, in this busy world, we got a lot of things that are being thrown at us. We've got the social networks. We've got the reality TV shows. We got the news. We got all these things happening to us. So it's easy to forget. The customers can easily forget. So if you're a cupcake company, you want to send out a newsletter maybe once or twice a month. And I would say that's about the limit. Okay, once or twice a month, send them out, remind them, say hello. This is where we're at. We got a great new cupcake for the holiday seasons. Hey, come on over and try a few. That's it. That's all you really need to show. Also, it also increases lead generation and cross-selling. Why? Well, because the recipients, okay, again, forgive my spelling. I'm going to write it really fast. Can forward the emails. Okay? they can forward the email to other people, and that other people can sign on to your list as well. So it really is a tremendous lead generation. The more lists, the bigger your lists are, the more chances of you getting business and leads. Also, it increases the value of your website. That's right. There is a reason why Facebook is worth billions. There is a reason why Twitter is worth billions, because they have pretty much almost a billion people each. Almost. Okay, Facebook is up to 850 million people as of July 2013. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how much Twitter has, but Pinterest, for instance, which we discussed in the previous lesson, is up to 12 million as of this date. And they can if they were to sell that website quite significantly, okay, they can sell that database, and that's what most of these heavy buyers, they're interested. They're interested in buying the rights or buying the database, because they can use that database to advertise their own products within that website. Well, let's give an example. Rupert Murdoch and News Corp purchased MySpace. At that time, it was a deal, only something like $750 million. Okay, and at that time, MySpace had quite significantly, well, I think about 50 million people. So for that price, the News Corp was able to utilize MySpace and put in their own shows, put in their own advertisements. I mean, they've got 50 million people that they want to advertise to. There you have it. It's pretty simple. Again, you can also sell advertisement on your own website if you are interested in doing so. But again, more is better. So going on to the next one, we're going to talk about how to create the newsletter. Let's go back to Dr. Bob's newsletter, and as you can see, this is just a web page. Okay, you've got the information above, you got the information below. Again, we asked them to pass this email to other people. Okay, here's his phone number in case you tell Dr. Bob to please do not email me again. All right. So this is what we're going to be making, but this is a web page. And because it's a web page, you just need the regular web page tools or website building tools, such as Dreamweaver, okay, and FileZilla, just to name a couple. You may also want to try a free web creation tool called Composer.net, and this is free. But please leave a donation to them. Give them $20, $30, something like that. I mean, they're saving Dreamweaver cost well over $600. So Composer.net is a free application that you can download and build your websites and, of course, build your newsletter. But at any rate, this is a free newsletter. I'm not going to go into how to design one because we don't have the time. But if you have a webmaster or a trusted person, you can go ahead and use that. In an upcoming lesson, we'll be discussing WordPress, so you can use WordPress as your newsletter. So, at any rate, this is what we do, and we will go over the Dreamweaver. I'm sorry, we will not be going over Dreamweaver, but this, again, its newsletter is just a regular web page. All right, so step number one, well, actually, step number one was creating the newsletter using the tools that I mentioned. Step number two over here is actually collecting the names and emails. And that's all you really need to do is collect their names and emails. You don't need their phone number. You don't need their fax number. Okay? You just need their name and their email. And the reason why I want to enter their name is you want to personalize sometimes. Okay? A lot of these these email service websites, they'll personalize it. Instead of saying dear subscriber, you want to say dear John, dear Mary, dear Toto, whatever the case may be, and send it out. So this section right here is an enhanced image of this section here. Again, enter name and email. Let's go to the website that has this. Okay, we'll say see you later, Dr. Bob, for now. And here it is, this website here. Again, if we moved it over, again, you enter your name and you enter your email, and then you press go. So webtipstv.com, if you want to enter their information for some really good stuff, go ahead and sign up for their newsletter. And any other website that you want to get information from or stay in touch with. Sign up for their newsletter. Couldn't hurt. But here's the thing, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down. Do so selectively, okay? You don't want to have multiple websites where you're getting multiple informations. All right, so let's move on to the next. Let's go ahead and activate this thing. The next step, of course, is that once you do collect the names and emails, okay, here it is, it goes into what is known as a database. And you don't necessarily see that database. And as you can see right here, in this case, you got website, first name, last name. That's not necessarily the database collected from here, but somewhere in there is also email addresses, okay? And that is the most important data that you can collect, is that email address. And for the most part, you want to be able to allow the person to be quick. In other words, don't ask for too many information. This is just a newsletter. You don't want to waste time getting multiple mega information. You can do that in a survey at a later time, but just a name and email suffice. You just want to send information and get them back into your website. That's the key to it. So don't ask for their name, their email, in addition to their spouse's name, their fax, their work address, their home address, their web address, all that stuff. Okay, you just want simple. Okay, no more than 3 questions. First name, last name, email. That's it. Collect it and then start sending out newsletters. If you need some things more about them and you've developed a good rapport, relationship with this person, then you can ask them for more. But don't be too intrusive. Again, less is better. Okay, so again, name and email goes into the database. Okay, let's see what the next one. And then from the database, you can use an email service provider. Okay, and an email service provider, a lot of times they will give you the database to collect. They'll give you the code to collect the names and emails. But a service provider is a company that allows you to send large quantities of emails very simply with one click of a button. Some of them you've already known. Okay, Constant Contact is one of them. iContact is another one, and the one that I use is called Campaign Monitor. Okay, that's the one that I use. That's the one that I really enjoy using. We're going to be displaying that today. And we're also going to be displaying a little bit of Constant Contact today as well, just because it's pretty popular. Maybe some of you already have established an account with them. With Constant Contact and iContact, you pay on a monthly basis. Okay, based on number of emails. The more emails you have, the more you pay. With Campaign Monitor, you have a choice between paying monthly or by paying per email, whichever is cheaper. Okay, forgive me for the poor penmanship here, but it's around 1 cent. For Campaign Monitor, it's like a penny an email. I think that's a pretty good deal. And of course, this image right here represents the masses of emails. This is their server. And of course, these little things are the emails to the different people around the world that you want to send this to. Okay, and going to the next slide over here, I guess that's about it. But we're going to go ahead and go to the browser. Okay, if you excuse me. All right, so let's go back to the browser and actually send out an email. Okay, as I described before, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. We're going to send out this newsletter. Now, before we send out this newsletter, I want to discuss Constant Contact with you. Okay, Constant Contact is another service provider, and you can go to constantcontact.com. Now, the first thing, as I mentioned before, you basically want to be able to collect names and emails. Like I said in the bottom of Dr. Bob's newsletter, you have a space for a name and an email. And Constant Contact does allow you to do that. You can call up Constant Contact and ask them how to do that. This is, again, 2013 emails. Websites change all the time. From the last I checked, what you want to do is you want to go, and I'll go ahead and increase the size of the viewing size right here. You click on Contacts, and then you click on Grow My Contact List. And then from there, you can create a link or customize a form. And pretty much here again, you can add buttons. You can preview this. You can basically have different styles. And Constant Contact will provide you the code where you can add to your website to collect names and emails. All right, so going back home, really quickly, here again they show you the names of the emails that I've created. If I click here, let's see what happens. It basically, it just basically, I guess it shows me my email settings. So if we wanted to create an email, we'll click on the Create button. If I want, I can have the option of creating an email wizard or a classic email wizard. Let's go ahead and I'm going to shrink this down so you can see more of the menu. There is a Next button over here. And then you can select a template, or you can use your own code, whichever one you want to use. I like using my own code. Okay, I want to use this kind of email because I want to be able to control where I place things. Constant Contact, however, it's not bad. I mean, if you look at some of these newsletters over here that they have, some of them are very pretty. Okay, I mean, very professional. Why not use them? But if you continue with the steps in Constant Contact, eventually you'll be able to add your own verbiage, your own images, and go ahead and send it out to the list. So that's really all I have to say about Constant Contact because, again, I don't use Constant Contact. I use Campaign Monitor, and I'm not endorsing Campaign Monitor, but I want to. It's important that I present to you every option possible. Another website that you can go to is called iContact. As I mentioned before, I was not going to show it, but I'll show it to you anyways. iContact, again, it's another email marketing website that you can use. And again, I think it's just as effective. It's being used by a lot of people, and they're a success story in itself. So I would definitely cater to the one that best works for you. Just make sure that they have decent support. Or if your webmaster uses it for you, then I would definitely make sure that he or she knows what they're doing. Now, what I use is Campaign Monitor. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this, as you can see right here. Campaign Monitor. Whoops, I'll decrease it. That's exactly how it's spelled. Campaign, CAMPAIGN, Monitor, MONITOR.com. And this is what I use. Okay, why do I use this? Because it allows me to have full control, and it's very affordable. Like I said, this is the one that allows a penny an email. And you can go ahead and look at all the different features by going to this website, see what it's all about. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this browser down and go into my Campaign Monitor, which I'm already logged in. On the left-hand side are my clients. Now, of course, this is a webmaster's platform, but with Campaign Monitor, I'm going to go ahead and choose the Optometric Center. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the list and subscriptions. Okay, so again, as you can see right here, I'm going to have to increase the size again. Dr. Bob, okay, the guy who owns this website, there you see Dr. Bob, has collected over 1,000 subscribers. That's pretty significant. All right, so we're going to be sending out a newsletter. We're going to be sending out this newsletter, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is. So let's go ahead and press Create and Send. We want to create a new campaign. Okay. And I'm going to have to toggle it back and forth. So we'll go ahead and call this a campaign name. And July newsletter is a name. We'll also call it the subject. Okay. This is the email that it will go to. Okay, so I will click Next. Now I have a choice between importing my own design, or I can use a plain text email, which is kind of boring. Okay, if I still have my, like for instance, a plain text email would be something like this. That's all it is. But we don't want to go that route. We want to be able to go this route. Okay, again, it allows me to use a template if I'd like to, but I'm going to import my own design. All right, so I will scroll down, Click on Next. Now I have a choice of importing something from my computer, okay, or import from the web. Now this is the beauty part of it. I can just import a web page, website, okay? So I will go to Dr. Bob's email, and on the top of the address bar, I have the web address. So I'll just copy it, okay, and I will paste it, okay? And then I will get my campaign. All right, we've successfully, now if I can preview it, that's what people will see in their email. Okay, really nicely done. Okay, I've seen enough, and I think we're going to shut this down. Now we'll go ahead. Now, here's the bottom part. Would you like to add an unsubscribe link for me to continue? Yes, you do. Okay, so you don't have to program an unsubscribe link. When you use an email service account that maintains your database for you, if somebody clicks on that unsubscribe link, okay, pretty much it'll remove that person from the database, okay? So I'll show you that in a second, okay? As you can see right here, the email was sent. If you're no longer interested, unsubscribe instantly, okay? It does that for you, and that's the beauty of, that's one of the reasons I really enjoy Campaign Monitor. So let's move forward. Okay, enter text. We don't have to do that because we've selected a website. So we'll define, now we want to select the 1,004 subscribers that Dr. Bob has. Then comes, we'll press next. Okay, we'll test and define if you want to do so. We're going to skip it though because I pretty much have confidence in this thing. And then when do I want to send out? Well, I want to send it out immediately. Okay, notice deliver the campaign immediately, or I could send it. Then, of course, the big thing, pay for it. All right, there it is. It's going to cost $15, okay? It would cost $10, okay? But then there's a delivery fee. They charge of $5 no matter what. That's what. So I'll send it out. And it's going out. And Dr. Bob, I will send you a bill. All right, so it's processing. It's there. Now, the nice thing about it, and I know this is early, okay, but you can actually see the reports of this campaign. So if I clicked here, okay, obviously it's just sent out, but these numbers are all filled out. A 20 to 30% opening rate is pretty darn good. Okay, it's really, really darn good. So let's wait a few while. Maybe I've received it. Let's go ahead and go to my inbox. There he is, Dr. Bob's. So if I click here, all right, there he is. On my own website, on my own newsletter, on my own email, on my own email account, I have Dr. Bob's newsletter. It pretty much showed up. I've opened it. Again, I can go ahead and let's go back one, and let's see, maybe it'll catch mine. Notice that already 5 unique opens, and it's only been a split second. So we've got a 0.5%. You know, give it time. People are out to lunch. After all, it is lunchtime now. But people are out to lunch, or people may not open it right away. But at any rate, Dr. Bob, when I first started working with him, had only about 300 people on his list. Now he's up to 1,000, and it's only been maybe about 5 or 6 months, which I had the honor of and working with him. Let's look at list and subscribers real quickly on the maintaining. Again, we've got a little over 1,000 subscribers. And when I click here, it'll tell me how many active subscribers, how many people have unsubscribed. As you can see, 66 people have unsubscribed. And then it's got a bounce rate of 199. And what I mean by bounce, it means it just didn't get delivered for whatever reason. It could be that they set up a spam folder, or there might be some sort of a blockage, or it could be from the internet service provider, that the reason why it wasn't received. But at any rate, all these people here are on the Dr. Bob's list, and they are helping him get business. Okay, so Dr. Bob, your email has been sent, and hopefully you've enjoyed this lesson here. If there are any questions, please contact us. And I urge you to go ahead and start sending out communication newsletters or e-newsletters to your respective clients. And this is Jim on educator.com. Stay tuned for the next lesson.